the rookie numbers are out. And the 49ers, with their elite history, have so many amazing players, so many numbers that people want retired. But as we know, football only has a certain amount of numbers to go around. You can't just retire numbers and then just continue to add players, especially when position groups need certain numbers, even with the new rules with the NBA, with the NFL, where Dalvin Cook just moved to number 3. Alexander Mattison is wearing number 2. They're allowing that for running backs, things like that. 74 is given away to Burford. No disrespect to Joe Staley, who is a 49ers legend, one of the best linemen has ever played for the 49ers, one of the best linemen that's ever played the game. What are your thoughts on Spencer Burford, given the 74 number that is so heavily thought of amongst 49ers fans?
I'll put it this way. I noticed it. When I was like, oh, they gave away 74. And it's like, because there are certain players who sort of get this unofficial retired jersey status right away. Frank Gore is one of them. You will never see a Niner wear 21 ever again. And Staley didn't make the cut. And I guess it made me laugh because he's got an argument. He might be the best left tackle in franchise history, but it's important to step back and think about all the people who haven't gotten their jerseys retired in 49ers history. Like, let's just list Navarro Bowman. That went to Mark and Zoucher real quick.
Patrick Willis hasn't been given out, but he's not retired.
No, Patrick Willis is made man. They're never going to give out 52 again. But Justin Smith, that went to Solomon Thomas pretty fast. Thank you, Justin, for your service. Bryant Young, Hall of Famer. Dakota Watson wore 97. 97 is fair game. Yeah. So, I mean, look, if Bryant Young didn't get his jersey retired, then sorry, Joe. Sorry, it's just the way it goes. It's one of the most storied franchises in sports.
100%. And here we go. David Sanchez, thank you for the super chat. Can we get Grant in a JG10 shirt? Grant, what would it take? Would it take more than the $2 that was just sent in to get you in that?
I would have to profit off of it in some way. I'd have to make the shirt myself and get a percentage of it. Right now, I'm selling shirts with my face on it. This is just a prototype, though. You can't buy this one. I'm just wearing it for fun. And I also got my banana hands.
He's not a businessman. He's a businessman. So a little bit more to let's talk about these numbers. Terrell Owens is largely regarded as one of the top 3 receivers of all time.
Good example.
For me, he's right behind Jerry Rice, in my opinion. I think he's better than Randy Moss, who's also
I agree. He would actually go over the middle, unlike Randy Moss.
Okay, there you go. 81 was given to Anquan Bolden. 84, Brent Jones. Randy Moss.
Brent Taylor wore that for a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so again, there's only a certain amount of numbers to go around. It's no disrespect to Joe Staley. It's just you can't get rid of Look, here's the one that if you were talking about retired numbers that you need to stop right now. I know you mentioned Frank Gore. 8 needs to be retired right now. There's nobody that should be allowed to wear 8 ever again.
No one ever will, but that's not officially retired. That's crazy to me.
That's exactly my point. Crazy to me. If you're talking about Steve Young not having his number retired, don't argue 21, don't argue 97, don't argue 74. Yep. All of those fall by the wayside until Steve Young's number actually gets officially retired. So again, guys, I get it. Legend, Joe Staley, one of the best that's ever played. Get it completely. There's only a certain amount of numbers to go around, and you can't just start retiring all of them. It's just that the 49ers are that good that they've had that many great players.
I do find it interesting that the Yorks have found Patrick Willis and Frank Gore fit to sort of merit the unofficial retirement status. You know what? I would agree with that. Those two are legendary 49ers, and it would be weird to see someone wearing 52. It would be worse than weird. Same with 21 at this point.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's just say in Madden world, where a lot of 49ers fans live, and they, you want this guy signed, you want that guy signed. Let's just say Madden world, Jalen Ramsey becomes a 49er.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen Ramsey says, I want 21 because I want to be like Dion. Jalen Ramsey is one of the best in the game and changes your defense. The 49ers tell him no?
They would tell him, Jalen, 49er fans love you right now. If you take Frank Gore's jersey and say, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, they're not going to love you as much. We highly advise you not to do it. It's up to you, though. We highly advise you not to do that if you want the fans to like you because they like you now. I'm just saying,
Okay.
it's a mistake. The blowback he would get is so unnecessary. Why would you bring that on yourself? Why would you want that smoke? I don't think he wants that smoke.
One more. The 49ers, in some kind of world, get Justin Herbert as their quarterback. Justin Herbert walks in and says, I want number 8.
That is so disrespectful. me as a freaking former 49er fan born in 88 who roots
and Steve Young's your guy. Joe's not my guy either. Steve is my guy. I'm not that old.
You better. Look, Justin, I know you were probably born in 1999 or something, but have some damn respect. Absolutely not.
David's got a good point here. As long as Jeff Garcia gives his blessing. Funny story real quick before we get into the actual content that we have here for you. In the media room at the draft in Vegas, I spoke to someone who works with Jeff Garcia and does publicity for him, right?
Nice.
And she, when she found out that I covered the 49ers,
she asked, where the hell were you when he said that stuff?
Right.
when he
right. So she goes, so what are your thoughts? And I said, look, I was like, it's less about what he said to a woman and more what he said to 99% of the population, because he said, you can't have an opinion on playing quarterback if you've never played quarterback. And I was like, you see everybody in this room? I was like, every single person in this media room is a big room.
Yeah.
None of them have played quarterback. So all of us don't get to speak. I was like, I was more offended by that than whatever it is that everybody took as far as the sexism thing is because, dude, nobody, the top 0.1% of players people get to be quarterbacks. Forget women.
I just want to say real quick that I like Jeff Garcia. I was 12 when he was the quarterback. I rooted for Jeff. I've interviewed him multiple times. He's been very generous with his time. What I want to say about what he said that time, he was trying to support Jimmy. And what he found to support Jimmy was super dumb. And then he compounded the dumbness with misogyny. So, not his best moment, but I like Jeff Garcia. Can I give him a pass? It's really not for me to say, but it was a terrible moment for Jeff.
Here's the thing, Grant. It's that saying, don't meet your idols. I've never met Jeff Garcia, but the more that he speaks, the more you get to meet him because of the age we live in. And the more you get to kind of get to know the people that they really are underneath those helmets. And I used to have a Jeff Garcia jersey during that time. When they knocked off the Giants, being on the East Coast.
All I want to say is I don't know if he stands for the right things, but he's a good guy. He's given me so much of his time. He doesn't know who I am. Like, person to person, he will be nice and respectful to you. And again, you never know if people stand for the right things in life. I'm sorry. What he said was the dumbest shit ever. I was like,
Well, our comments are lit already, and I think it's because Grant's here. 10 needs to be retired. We up by 10 in the fourth. Number 10 was quarterback. Nobody needs that. Don't get him started, man. Please, guys.
Okay, question. What is the next number the Niners will retire? That's my question.
If you look, all right. I think it's got to be 52.
No, unofficially. Let's say that 52 and 21 are as good as retired. The next one.
Man.
I think I know which way where they're going to go.
71? 85?
I think they're going to go 85.
85.
Dude, the most overrated player of all time, man. He's the Buster Posey of 49ers here, man. Have a longer career.
Kittle's got to stay here, but the discussion that I always like to bring up is Vernon was better.
Vernon was better. Thank you. They gave away Vernon's freaking number so fast. No respect. I'm sorry.
I mean, look. I love George Kittle. I love what he brings. I love all of those things. I think he's I think he's a top 2 tight end in the league, depending on what day you ask me. But man, y'all are forgetting how clutch Vernon was in those playoff games. Man, he was balling.
Am I the only person who flinched a little bit when I saw Nate Sudfeld wear 7?
That's a weird number for a quarterback. That one is
weird
like
number for Nate Sudfeld. That's like that's Kaepernick's number, man. Like Nate Sudfeld. Ew.
Hey, I mean, both from California.
It's true.
All right.
It's true. They're both from the same area. It's true.
It's fine. He couldn't block. The catch 3, there is no catch 1 with Kittle.
Yes, he could.
Vernon Davis.
When he was younger, that dude was hella strong. Yes, he could.
Vernon is a part of like your biggest moments as a 40. Like those playoff runs when the 49ers were in there, Kittle wasn't balling like that. I'm sorry, man. We need to start a whole new discussion about this whole Kittle and Vernon thing, because the recency bias has pushed out how much Vernon
absolutely
meant to
could
those
block.
teams.
He couldn't run routes. He could not run a route to save his life. And he caught every ball like jumping, which was kind of weird. But man, in the playoffs, he looked like the best player on the field in multiple games he was in. Am I wrong?
He was dominant.
He was dominant. Yes.
He was dominant.
George Kittle has not had a game like that in the playoffs. Ever. Vernon took over games in playoffs. I was there. It was like,
yep.
Yes, he did.
The catch 3. That's the catch 3.
And it wasn't just one catch. It was a whole game. I mean, he was dominant.
Ooh. Here we go. G's bringing the fire. Delaney was the better tight end. Between him and Vernon, or
Delaney may have had the better. Delaney was great too. It's just on the Niners they featured Vernon, but Delaney was great, and then he went to Tennessee and validated that. Delaney was great. I almost felt at the time I felt they should have kept Delaney over Anquan, although it was a tough one. But I love Delaney.
Delaney was a baller. You can't pay everybody. Those teams were stacked, especially when you go and you look back at those successful careers that guys had before or after they were 49ers. That team was absolutely stacked.